Our planet, Earth, is a marvel of natural wonders, a delicate balance of life-sustaining systems. For millennia, this intricate web of life has thrived, adapting to gradual changes over time. But now, our planet is changing at an unprecedented rate, and the consequences are being felt across the globe. The evidence is undeniable. Rising sea levels, more frequent and intense heat waves, melting glaciers, and increasingly unpredictable weather patterns. These changes are not isolated incidents. They are interconnected symptoms of a much larger problem: climate change. Climate change, driven by human activities, poses an existential threat to life as we know it. The very fabric of our planet's delicate balance is being disrupted, and the urgency to address this challenge has never been greater. One of the most visible and concerning effects of climate change is rising sea levels. This phenomenon is not just a future threat, it is happening right now, affecting millions of people globally. As global temperatures rise, glaciers and ice caps melt at an alarming rate, adding vast quantities of water to our oceans. This process is accelerating, with some glaciers losing ice at unprecedented speeds. This increase in ocean volume, combined with the thermal expansion of water as it warms, leads to rising sea levels. Warmer water takes up more space, further contributing to the problem. Coastal communities around the world are already experiencing the impacts of this phenomenon. In some areas, high tides now regularly flood streets and homes, disrupting daily life. From the low-lying islands of the Pacific to major coastal cities, rising sea levels threaten homes, infrastructure, and livelihoods. These areas are on the front lines of climate change, facing challenges that were once considered distant possibilities. As sea levels continue to rise, the risks of coastal erosion, flooding, and displacement will only increase. The natural barriers that once protected these areas are being eroded away, leaving them vulnerable. The consequences of inaction are dire. Without significant efforts to mitigate climate change and adapt to its impacts, the situation will worsen. Millions of people are at risk of displacement, and entire nations could be lost beneath the waves. The human cost is immeasurable, with communities being torn apart and cultures at risk of disappearing. The economic and social costs of rising sea levels are staggering, and the need for urgent action is clear. Investing in sustainable solutions and resilient infrastructure is essential to protect our future. At the heart of climate change lies the greenhouse effect, a natural process that regulates Earth's temperature. Certain gases in our atmosphere, known as greenhouse gases, trap heat from the sun. This trapped heat keeps our planet warm enough to support life. However, human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, have significantly increased the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This increase in greenhouse gases is trapping more heat, causing Earth's average temperature to rise at an unnatural rate. This rapid warming is disrupting Earth's climate system, leading to the extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and other impacts we are witnessing today. Addressing climate change requires reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and transitioning to cleaner, more sustainable sources of energy. Section 4. Can we fix it? Geoengineering explained. As the impacts of climate change become increasingly severe, scientists and policymakers are exploring a range of potential solutions. The urgency to address these issues has never been greater as we witness the devastating effects on our environment and communities. While reducing greenhouse gas emissions remains paramount, some researchers are investigating geoengineering, a controversial set of technologies aimed at deliberately altering Earth's climate system. These technologies could potentially offer a way to mitigate some of the most severe impacts of climate change. Geoengineering encompasses a variety of proposed techniques, each with its own set of potential benefits and risks. These methods range from relatively simple approaches to highly complex and technologically advanced solutions. Some methods focus on removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, such as carbon capture and storage, which involves capturing CO2 emissions from sources like power plants and storing them underground, while others aim to reflect sunlight away from Earth, thereby reducing global temperatures. Techniques like deploying reflective materials on the ground or placing solar reflectors in space are being explored. The prospect of intentionally manipulating Earth's climate system raises profound ethical and scientific questions. There are concerns about the potential unintended consequences and the moral implications of such interventions. While geoengineering offers a potential last resort in the fight against climate change, it is crucial to proceed with caution, carefully considering the potential consequences of such actions. The balance between the potential benefits and risks must be thoroughly evaluated to ensure that we do not create more problems than we solve. Section 5. A planetary sunshade stratospheric aerosol injection. One of the most widely discussed geoengineering techniques is stratospheric aerosol injection. This innovative approach has garnered significant attention from scientists and environmentalists alike as they search for ways to combat the escalating climate crisis. This method involves injecting reflective particles such as sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, the second layer of Earth's atmosphere. These particles are designed to mimic the natural cooling effects observed after large volcanic eruptions which release similar particles into the atmosphere. These particles would act like a giant sunshade, reflecting a small portion of incoming sunlight back into space. By doing so, they could help to lower global temperatures and provide a temporary respite from the warming effects of greenhouse gases. By reducing the amount of solar radiation reaching Earth's surface, stratospheric aerosol injection could potentially cool the planet and mitigate some of the effects of climate change. This cooling effect could be crucial in buying time for humanity to implement more sustainable solutions. While this technique holds promise, it also carries significant risks. The potential for unintended consequences makes it a highly controversial topic within the scientific community. The injection of aerosols into the stratosphere could disrupt weather patterns, damage the ozone layer, and have other unintended consequences. These disruptions could lead to unpredictable and possibly severe environmental impacts. Furthermore, stratospheric aerosol injection would not address the root cause of climate change greenhouse gas emissions. It is essential to remember that this technique is not a substitute for reducing carbon emissions and transitioning to renewable energy sources. Instead, it should be considered as a potential stopgap measure while more permanent solutions are developed and implemented. Section 6. Cloud brightening, reflecting sunlight. Another proposed geoengineering technique is cloud brightening, which involves increasing the reflectivity of clouds to reflect more sunlight back into space. This could be achieved by spraying seawater into the atmosphere, which would increase the number of water droplets in clouds, making them brighter and more reflective. Cloud brightening is considered a more localized and potentially less risky geoengineering method compared to stratospheric aerosol injection. However, it still carries uncertainties and potential drawbacks. Altering cloud formation could disrupt precipitation patterns, impacting agriculture and water resources. More research is needed to fully understand the potential benefits and risks of cloud brightening before it can be considered a viable geoengineering option. If you found this video informative, please like, comment and subscribe for more content on climate change and geoengineering. Your support helps us bring you more in-depth analysis and updates on these critical topics.